Welcome to Relation Tales. Please like this video and subscribe Relation Tales. We're grateful for each and every one of you. Let us know where in the world you're tuning in from. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let's begin. If you'd asked anyone who knew me, they would have sworn my marriage was the type people envied. Stable, predictable, built on routines that looked comforting from the outside. But routines can hide a lot. My name is Logan Reeves, 35, software consultant. Boring on paper, but the kind of man who believed in building a life brick by brick. My wife, Madison, 32, was the fire in the equation. Marketing director, always busy, always polished, always the one who walked into a room and made people sit straighter. When we first got married, she used to text me about everything. What she ate for lunch, how her meeting went, how her boss annoyed her. She sent photos of her at her desk, jokingly complaining she needed a new chair because this one hurt her soul. Now her phone only buzzed when she turned away from me. I didn't start out suspicious. I started out confused. Because the changes were small at first. She began dressing differently for work. More form-fitting, more expensive, the kind of clothes she used to save for fancy dinners with me. She switched perfumes. She started going out after meetings more often. She stopped asking what I wanted for dinner and instead said, "I'll eat something out with the team." The mysterious team I apparently never met. One night, we were getting ready to go to bed when I noticed a notification flash on her lock screen. A name I didn't recognize, Cole. The preview said, "Same place tomorrow." She turned the phone over so fast it was like a reflex. A practiced reflex. "Who's that?" I asked calmly. "New guy from work," she said, already annoyed. "We're collaborating. He's needy. Can we sleep now?" Her tone sliced through the room. Sharp. Defensive. Immediate. Not the tone of a woman with nothing to hide. But I forced myself to let it go. Because love makes you stupid, and loyalty makes you blind. It was a Thursday. I'd woken up early, made coffee, and cooked breakfast, trying to bring back the old rhythm of our mornings. Madison walked into the kitchen, already dressed, makeup perfect, hair curled like she was heading to a magazine shoot instead of a staff meeting. "You heading to a gala? Or your office?" I teased gently. She didn't laugh, didn't smile. She barely looked at me. "Logan, please don't start," she muttered, reaching for her keys. "Start what?" "This questioning thing," she said, waving her hand as if the air between us was the problem. "I'm working hard. I have responsibilities, and I don't need to justify every outfit I wear." I set down the spatula slowly. "I'm not interrogating you. I just miss when we talked, when we were close." She blinked hard, like she didn't want to feel anything. "I'm late. I'll text you." But she didn't. Not all day. Not until 9:42 p.m., when a message popped up. "Working late. Don't wait up." A short message. Cold. Like an announcement, not communication. I wasn't planning on checking anything. I wasn't planning on snooping. I just wanted to upload some files to our family cloud folder, something I maintained for years. But when I logged in, I saw something that punched the air out of my lungs. A newly synced live photo. From Madison's phone. Uploaded automatically without her realizing. I clicked it. It wasn't an office. It wasn't a meeting room. It wasn't even remotely close. It was a hotel bar. Dim lighting, polished marble counters. Glasses lined up like jewelry. People laughing in the background. And right in the center, Madison, dressed to kill. Her smile wide. Her hand resting on a man's thigh. Cole, the same name I'd seen. The live photo played again, automatically. This time, I focused on her expression. It was effortless. Like she wasn't pretending. Like she wasn't conflicted. Like she'd done this more than once. I sat there, staring at my laptop, feeling something inside me harden. Not sadness, not heartbreak, not confusion. Resolve. A calm, quiet, icy resolve. If she thought I would keep being the loyal, predictable husband, she didn't know me at all. I didn't call. I didn't text. I didn't drive to the hotel and cause a scene. That would have been messy, loud, weak. I wanted clarity. I wanted proof. I wanted to see just how deep the betrayal ran before I decided what kind of man I was going to be next. So I waited. At 11:07 p.m., she called me. I let it ring. Then ring again. Then again. When I picked up, she sounded too cheerful, too high energy for someone who supposedly just worked late. "Babe, hey. Sorry, crazy long day. We finally wrapped up." I cut her off. Send me a picture. She froze. Even through the phone, I heard the shift. What? What? You said you're at work. Send me a picture of your desk. A long silence filled the line. Then she forced a laugh. Logan, seriously? This is so creepy. I'm driving home. I'll talk to you when I get there. But she wouldn't be driving for at least 15 more minutes. Because I could still hear the bar behind her. I hung up without saying another word. She called back instantly. I ignored it. Her text followed. Why did you hang up? Logan, are you okay? Talk to me. Please. I didn't reply. I wasn't ready. Not yet. Because I already knew what I was going to do next. And it wasn't going to be quiet. It wasn't going to be easy for her. And it wasn't going to be something she could talk her way out of. She'd chosen secrecy. I'd show her what truth looked like. When Madison finally walked through the door, I was sitting on the living room couch, the TV off, the lights dim. Not angry. Not yelling. Just still. And that scared her more than anything. She stepped inside softly, like I was a sleeping animal she didn't want to disturb. Her eyes flicked to my face, then to Milo curled beside me, then back again. Hey, she said, her voice too bright. You're up. I didn't answer. She swallowed. Long day. Exhausting. I shouldn't have snapped this morning. I've just been buried under work. Her makeup was almost gone, but not in a tired, office way. More like she'd wiped it off quickly in the car to hide something. Her lipstick was smudged. Her perfume stronger than usual, like she'd reapplied it before coming home. She dropped her bag on the counter and walked toward me slowly. Logan, why are you looking at me like that? I finally spoke. Sit down. She hesitated. That half-second of hesitation told me more than any excuse ever could. She sat across from me, her knees bouncing, fingers twisting together. I asked you for a picture earlier, I said. Of your office. I told you it was strange. I didn't like the tone. You weren't at work. She blinked fast. Too fast. What are you talking about? I picked up my phone, opened the photo app, and turned the screen toward her. Not even the live photo, just the still frame first. Her face went pale instantly. Her hand flew to her mouth. Logan. What is that? Where did you? It synced automatically, I said. You forgot cloud backup was on. For a moment, she forgot to breathe. Her pupils widened. She started shaking her head before she even formed a sentence. It's not. Logan, let me explain. Go ahead. It's not what it looks like. Then tell me what it is. She opened her mouth, closed it, opened it again. Her hands were trembling on her lap. We were just celebrating a big pitch. I laughed at something stupid he said. My hand wasn't. Your hand was on his leg. It wasn't like that. Play the live photo. She froze again. I tapped the screen. The bar came alive. Her laughter. That man leaning closer. Her gripping his thigh. The smooth, practiced way she touched him. The way she looked at him. Playful, warm, flirtatious. A version of her I hadn't seen in months. A version she no longer showed me. She stared at the video, color draining from her face. When it ended, I set the phone on the table. I'll ask one more time, I said quietly. Tell me the truth. She covered her face with her hands. Her voice cracked. I made a mistake. How long? Logan, please. How long? A tear slid down her cheek. A few months. Something inside me shifted. Not broke. Not shattered. It was quieter than that. Almost numb. A cold, steady understanding settling in. Who ended it? I asked. You or him? He doesn't know I'm married, she whispered. That part hit differently. A deeper betrayal. Not only the affair, but the erasing of me. Like I was an inconvenience to her new life. Maddie, I loved you, I said, my voice barely above a whisper. I gave you everything I knew how to give. I know, she sobbed. I know, Logan. And I didn't plan any of this. It just happened. I was stressed. He listened. He made me feel. Don't say it. My voice sharpened. Don't you dare finish that sentence. She pressed her lips together, tears streaming. I'll end it, she said desperately. Right now. I'll block him. I'll quit my job if you want. I'll do anything. Just don't walk away from me. Please. I can fix this. No, I said softly. You can't. She reached forward, grabbing my hands, squeezing them so tightly her nails dug into my skin. Logan, please. You have every right to be angry, but don't turn this into something permanent. We can heal. I swear we can. I eased my hands out of hers. You didn't seem interested in healing when you were in that hotel bar. She burst into sobs, The kind that came from somewhere deep, somewhere terrified. I'm begging you, don't leave me. Tell me what I have to do. Name anything. I'll prove it to you. No. I repeated, just as calm. Her eyes searched my face, confused. Then what now? You'll see, I said. For the first time in a long time, I saw fear in her expression. Real fear. Fear not of losing me, but of what losing me would cost. She whispered, Logan, please don't do something drastic. I'm not doing anything messy, I said. I'm not screaming, breaking things, or making a scene. I'm just done being the version of myself you take for granted. Her chin trembled. What does that even mean? It means I'm going to handle this my way. I stood up and walked toward the bedroom. She scrambled to follow me. Logan, wait. Please, tell me what you're planning. I didn't answer, because the truth was, I wasn't planning revenge and anger. I was planning it with clarity, with purpose, with the same methodical patience I used at work. She thought I was quiet. She had no idea what quiet men become when pushed too far, and the part that scared her the most. I wasn't acting like a man hurt by betrayal. I was acting like a man preparing something she wouldn't see coming, something she wouldn't be able to stop. That night, Madison slept on the far edge of the bed, curled up like she was afraid to take up space. Every few minutes she shifted, probably checking if I was still awake. I wasn't. Not really. My eyes were closed, but my mind was wide open, sharper than it had been in years. The truth has a way of snapping a person back into themselves. Around 3 a.m., she whispered into the darkness, Logan, are you awake? I didn't answer. After a moment, I heard her stifled sobs, quiet, shaky, desperate. But the sound didn't move me the way it used to, because now I knew those tears weren't for what she did. They were for what she feared would happen next. And she feared exactly the right thing. By the next morning, I was calm. Too calm. I got up, made coffee, packed my work bag, and left without waking her. Or pretending everything was fine. Or trying to talk. That was her job now. At the office, I wasn't distracted or emotional. I was composed. Focused. My coworkers probably thought I'd slept great. But underneath that calm was a strategy building itself piece by piece. Not chaos. Not revenge fueled by rage. Revenge fueled by clarity. The kind that lasts. At lunch, I sat alone in my car and opened the cloud folder again. Not to torture myself, but to prepare. I watched the live photo one more time. The way she touched him. The way she leaned in. The way she laughed only for him. The way she looked like she belonged there. Her betrayal wasn't accidental. It was practiced. And now, so was my plan. When I got home that evening, Madison was waiting by the door like she'd rehearsed it. Her eyes were puffy, her hair unbrushed, her voice trembling. Logan, please talk to me. I brushed past her. Not now. She followed me like a shadow. I ended it. I blocked him on everything. I deleted every message. I told my boss I can't work on any project he's on. I'm trying. I'm not interested in damage control, I said. Then what are you interested in? Honesty. I'm being honest, she cried. I turned and looked at her. Really looked at her. No, you're trying to say what you had. That's not honesty. That's fear. She froze. Her breath caught in her throat. I'm not afraid of you leaving, she whispered. I'm afraid of losing us. There is no us, I said quietly. Not the version you destroyed. She reached for my arm, but I stepped back. Her hand dropped like it weighed too much. What do you want me to do? She asked again, more quietly, more defeated. Nothing, I said. Just keep living your routine. Go to work. Come home. Pretend I'm not planning anything. Her eyebrows knitted together. Logan, that's not fair. You're scaring me. You weren't scared when you were sneaking around, I said. Don't be scared now. Tears streamed down her face again. You're not this person. You're not cold. Talk to me. Please. But I walked past her into the study and closed the door. She didn't follow this time. She knew better now. Inside the study, I opened my laptop and logged into something I hadn't touched since the early days of our marriage. The joint savings account we opened for future investments, a fund we both deposited into monthly. Or at least, I used to think we both did. Now that I looked at the account history with fresh eyes, I noticed something suspicious. Transfers scheduled by her months ago. Small amounts, but consistent, moved from the joint account to her personal one. She'd been building a financial safety net. People don't do that unless they're preparing for a life without you. And she didn't think I'd ever notice because I'd spent years trusting without checking. She never expected me to become observant again. At 9 p.m., there was a soft knock on the door. "Logan," she whispered. "Can I please come in?" "No." The knob turned slightly. She tested it, but it was locked. I heard her sink down on the floor on the other side. She spoke through the door, voice breaking. "I know I messed everything up. I know I lied. I know I hurt you. But please don't shut me out like this." "You shut me out first," I replied. More silence. Then, so softly I almost didn't hear, "I thought you didn't care anymore." That sentence hit me, not with pain, but with clarity, because it confirmed something I already suspected. Her affair wasn't accidental. She hadn't drifted. She'd decided. She'd convinced herself I didn't cherish her anymore, even though I'd spent years proving the opposite. It wasn't that I wasn't enough. It was that she wanted someone who didn't remind her of her own promises. She wanted a clean slate she could rewrite herself on. But she picked the wrong man to betray if she thought she'd get away clean. I stayed silent. Eventually, I heard her get up and walk away. The house stayed quiet until morning. And when she walked into the kitchen the next day and saw what was waiting on the counter, her face drained of all color, because I'd left something there for her. Something deliberate. Something undeniable. Something that let her know her world was no longer safe from the consequences she tried so hard to avoid. Her whole body trembled as she read it. She knew. This wasn't the end. This was just the beginning. What I left on the kitchen counter wasn't dramatic. No screaming. No threats. No chaos. Just a single envelope with her name written neatly on the front. Inside it was a printed copy of a live photo, one still frame, not the video, and a short note beneath it. "I'm done protecting the version of you that doesn't exist anymore." The moment Madison saw it, her knees almost buckled. She grabbed the edge of the counter like she needed it to stay upright. "Logan, what is this supposed to mean?" she whispered, her voice hollow. "It means I'm finished pretending," I said calmly, pouring myself coffee. "Fixing your mistake isn't my job." She hugged her arms around herself. "You're ending everything over one mistake." "One?" I raised an eyebrow. "This wasn't one." She looked away, guilty, because she knew I was right. Her silence said everything. "What are you going to do?" she asked, fear creeping back in her voice. "Something you should have done from the start," I replied. "Tell the truth." I walked past her, grabbed my keys, and headed for the door. She followed closely behind. "Logan, wait. Where are you going?" "To see someone who deserves the truth as much as I do." Her face drained. No, Logan. Please don't tell him. Please. I can explain it to him myself." "You had months," I said, opening the door. "You explained nothing." "Logan, please," she cried, grabbing my wrist. "You can't do this to me." I gently pulled my arm free. "You already did it to yourself." She stood frozen in the doorway as I left. The drive downtown was steady, not rushed, clear-headed. And when I arrived at the hotel lounge, the same one from the live photo, the man she'd been sneaking around with, Cole, was exactly where I expected, sitting confidently at the bar like he owned the place. He didn't know me, but I knew him. I sat beside him. He nodded politely. "Evening, man." "Evening," I replied. "You work in marketing?" He chuckled. "Yeah. How'd you guess?" I turned my phone and placed its screen up on the counter. The still image of him with Madison stared back at us. His smile collapsed. He swallowed. "Look, I didn't know she was married." I finished for him. "I know. That's why I'm here." He stared at the photo like it might burn him. "I don't want anything from you," I said. "Just wanted you to see the truth before she tries to rewrite it." He nodded slowly, voice shaky. I get it. I'm sorry, man." "Don't apologize to me," I said, standing. "Just stay out of it from now on." I walked out before he could say another word. Revenge didn't need to be loud, just precise. When I came home, Madison was pacing the living room like a trapped animal. Her eyes snapped up. "You talked to him, didn't you?" "Yes." She covered her face, letting out a shaky breath. "Logan, you ruined everything." "No," I said calmly. "You ruined everything. I just stopped covering it for you." She tried stepping closer, her voice breaking. "Please don't leave me. Please. I can change. I'll go to counseling. I'll do whatever. Just don't throw us away." I shook my head gently. "You threw us away when you lied every night and smiled doing it." Tears streamed down her face. "I love you." "No," I said softly. You loved the version of me that wouldn't stand up for himself. She reached for my hand, but I stepped back. Her breath hitched. You're leaving, she whispered. I am. And you're not coming with me. Her whole body trembled. Logan, please don't do this. I'm choosing myself, I said, grabbing my pack bag by the door. Something you never expected me to do. I walked out slowly, without slamming the door, without yelling. Because the quiet ending always hurts more. She collapsed to the floor behind me, crying my name. But I didn't look back. Not once. Because sometimes the strongest revenge isn't destroying someone. It's becoming the person they never believed you could be, and letting them live with the fact that losing you is entirely their fault.